Fox News alert, there are new leads in the hunt for a killer on the loose in Pennsylvania. Police confirmed 2 sightings of Danelo Cavalcante, a murderer who escaped Chester County Prison more than a week ago. The 34-year-old should be serving a life sentence for stabbing his ex-girlfriend in the back in 2021. But so far, Cavalcante has eluded authorities ever since this stunning escape from behind bars. We now know that one of the guards who missed this prison break has since been fired, and it appears that hundreds of law enforcement officers are working this case, and they may be narrowing their focus around the local botanical garden. Joanne Pilieggi from our Fox affiliate in Philadelphia joins us with the latest from Chester County. Joanne, I know you were having some weather issues out there, but you're on the ground there. What can you tell us about the investigation?
Good evening. It is day 10, and the search continues in earnest to try to catch this escaped killer convict. We're here right now at the command center. This is a state police command center at a fire station in Unionville, Pennsylvania. Now, that's about 6 miles away from Longwood Gardens. And that, Longwood Gardens, a major tourist attraction in this area, was one of the last locations where Danelo Cavalcante had been spotted. Now, here they're mapping out at the fire station, they're mapping out plans to try to catch the fugitive who has eluded police so far. Now, the backstory, as everyone knows by now, Cavalcante is a 34-year-old Brazilian national, and he had been convicted of the brutal stabbing death of his girlfriend. His trial concluded in late August when a jury returned a verdict of guilty in about 15 minutes. Cavalcante killed his girlfriend, stabbed her 38 times in front of her 2 children after he feared she would rat him out about a 2017 murder back in Brazil. Now, Cavalcante crab walked up a wall at the Chester County Prison and escaped over a fence on August 31st. He has been awaiting transfer to a state prison. Now, here we are 10 days after his escape. Some 400 law enforcement officials are active on the ground search for him, which includes the 1,000-acre tourist attraction, Longwood Gardens in Kennett Square. The gardens have been closed most of the week. Now, residents in the area are scared. They're frustrated that this dangerous criminal is still out there somewhere. And there is speculation that Cavalcante may have a cell phone that perhaps he got in the prison, and perhaps he's communicating with people on the outside who perhaps are telling him where the search is centered. There is now a $20,000 reward for information that leads to Cavalcante's capture and arrest.
Joanne, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
All right.
We appreciate it. Let's bring in Ryan Drummond, a Chester County resident who spotted the escaped prisoner inside his own home. Ryan, thanks so much for joining the program. So this guy has killed 2 people, one in Brazil, one in America. He comes into your house. What does he do?
Yeah, so, last Friday I was woken up by a noise in the kitchen, and I went over back to my wife's side of the bed. I said, hey, I don't want to freak you out, but I think there might be somebody inside. At that point, from my vantage point looking down, I could see that our French door, that was an old French door, was slightly ajar. I grabbed the picture frame, which was the only thing I had really to defend myself, which did not feel like a good tool to use in the moment. And instead, I flicked the light switch 3 or 4 times, waited a second, and then he flicked the light switch back at me. And that was the acute moment of terror. I turned to my wife. I said, it's him. Call 911. He's in the house. At that moment, just kind of braced myself. Was there going to be a confrontation? Instead, I saw him walk out of the kitchen, not running, just methodically walking towards that French door, out through my living room and out. The cops were here at our house very quickly, about 2 minutes. We noticed that he took an apple, a peach, and snap peas that we got from the farmer's market that were out on the counter. So, we're safe. I'm alive. My wife's alive. My kids are alive. We're not victims. But what's important to remember is that there are 2 victims. Those 2 kids saw their mother get stabbed 38 times. And I think the real tragedy is that, there's been a GoFundMe campaign and not much has been funded. And so, I appreciate you giving the platform to let your audience know that there's a GoFundMe for the victims of Danelo Cavalcante. And, hopefully your audience can support them.
Yeah, those kids deserve more. Real quickly, did he say anything to you when you looked at him face to face?
No, when I flipped that light switch, I was saying to him, hey, I know you're in the kitchen. And I think when he flipped the light switch back, he was saying, yeah, I'm down here, don't come down. And I think, for that reason, nobody got hurt, but, that's how it went down.
Ryan, you're so fortunate. We're so glad that you're still here with us, you and your family. This is a dangerous man, as you know, and you live to be able to tell the story. Hopefully law enforcement were able to get some information at your residence. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm now joined by former NYPD inspector, our friend Paul Morrow, as well as Steve Murphy, one of the former DEA agents who took down Pablo Escobar. Paul, I'm going to go to you first. So this guy was here illegally. He was a fugitive from Brazil. How does he pull this off? Do you know if this guy has any experience evading law enforcement? Obviously, he was able to leave a country but while being a fugitive. But how did he get away? Was this an inside job? What are folks telling you?
So what I'm hearing is that two things. First of all, that he may have some survival skills from back in Brazil, which may be helping him now that he's located ostensibly inside the Arboretum, which supplies him not only with forest cover, but with water. Remember the rule of three, right? You can live 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. His concern here is water. He got there, and Arboretum, by definition, has a lot of water. Secondly, if you look at this video, look at his waist. It looks to me, aside from the fact that this doesn't look very spontaneous to me, he must have planned this. He's got something around his waist from what I can see, if you see on his lower back. I surmise he's got a towel or something so he could get over the razor wire. The story is he got to the roof. He had to get past that razor wire. That's no joke. Every prison in America has that stuff for a reason. So I think he planned it. I don't think it was opportunistic. I think that he saw an opening, obviously, but planned it a bit. And obviously, he's got some resources because I have to be honest, Lawrence, by now, I would have bet that the dogs would have him.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the perimeter. He breaks the initial perimeter. You got 400 law enforcement officials that are combing the air. I have more faith in them, but this tells me that this is a pro. Special Agent, I want to go to you because you actually talked with the state today, some of the folks that are working this investigation. What are they telling you on the ground?
Thanks for having us on the show, Lawrence. And really nothing new. The research I'd done prior to this, Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens reiterated that. He did stress the fact that they are dead on his trail. He thinks it's a matter of hours, maybe days, but I think more realistically hours because of the conditions there. And he also pointed out an important part with the Pennsylvania State Police. I've done some activities with them and have some friends in that area. The Pennsylvania State Police are a full-service police agency. They're not a highway patrol, so they have extensive experience in hunting fugitives, especially Colonel Bivens. The resources that he has out there, your reporter mentioned there's as many as 400 police officers out there. State and locals, they're out there in all force. You've got all the feds in there now. I think DEA might be the only one that's not out there, but they've even brought in the Border Patrol's BORTAC unit, which is their tactical unit that's specially trained for different things. And I'm sure the Bureau probably has their hostage rescue team somewhere in the vicinity. So no reason to believe this is going to go on longer than necessary. He did explain that it's, I don't want to say triple canopy coverage from the trees, but it's an area that there are some wealthy farms and ranches in that area. So the foliage and the undergrowth is not culled out any at all. So that's thwarting the overhead helicopters a little bit. The heat and the humidity, we know that one of the canines was sent to a vet from heat exhaustion. The heat sensing equipment that they're using when it's hot out there, it can cause false positives, especially when rocks and things heat up. So, but you know what I heard, or what I didn't hear, is I didn't hear a single complaint. The police officers are out there in full gear with their bullet resistant vests on and all their kit and everything. They're carrying their long guns, and not a single person's complained about being out there. So the folks in that
because
area, I know it's a scary situation, but you got some professionals out there protecting you.
Well, this is true. Well, they know they're dealing with a guy that has nothing to lose. And, you know, we're really fortunate that he didn't kill that family in that house there, because this is a guy that has nothing to lose. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining the program. I wish I had more time.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.